Alright, so it's a typical day. I woke up this morning, ate my breakfast, you know how it be, and then I went to check twitter.com because what else am I gonna do? And then I see this tweet. It's talking about the review scores that Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is getting, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking at this, it makes sense. You got 10 out of 10s right here, you got your 9 out of 10s, 9.5s, this all makes sense. You go to the bottom, and you see IGN with this 8 out of 10, and you're like, what kind of fuckery is going on here? It's IGN, they're known for having crappy reviews at times, and I'm someone who has blasted IGN before for their incompetent reviewing. I've done it with the Fire Emblem Fates reviews they did, of which really only like 2 of them were pretty bad, and one guy actually did really good on the Conquest one. But you know why I'm making this video. Would I be making this video if IGN had a competent review of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition? No, I wouldn't. So, this isn't to say that Xenoblade Chronicles can't have bad reviews. There's one reply down here I remember seeing. I'm not going to read it for you, but if you look at this tweet, this is like a genuine reason to give the game a 6 out of 10, because the guy's like, this isn't for me, I know it's not for me, and I don't think they changed enough, which, to be fair, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition didn't change too much. There are some problems I have with it, like how they didn't give the heart-to-heart voice acting. It's a very sad thing I wish they did, but they didn't do some things that I wish they could have done. There are some improvements, but they're minor, but that's because Xenoblade Chronicles doesn't need too many changes. It just needs the more modern refinements, like additional voice acting in certain parts, like the heart-to-hearts. But you don't really care about that part. You want to see why IGN has fucked up this review, and let me tell you, it's gonna be something good, people.
It's horrible.
So before we get into it, I got to this part of the review. I haven't seen past this point, but once I got to this part, I knew I had to absolutely blast the dumbass reviewing this. The other thing I have to mention is the fact that my quality isn't going to be the best right now, just because I have my windows open, I have my fan on, I'm on a busy 4-way intersection right now, and I'm trying to not bake alive in my oven of a room, so I hope you can understand that. I apologize. I don't have AC, central cooling right now. I haven't set it up yet, just because we haven't had a need to, and we're trying to save money whenever we can, so apologies for any bad audio quality, but at least, unlike IGN right here, I'm fucking trying. So here is IGN's review of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. I'll show you the dislikes at the time I'm recording this. That's a bad ratio. If I refresh this video, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be even worse. But here we go, let's get into it.
For a story where controlling the future is a critical plot device, it's pretty ironic that Xenoblade Chronicles has never managed to get its timing right.
That's true. Xenoblade Chronicles is one of the most tragically timed games to ever come out, but I think they get into it in this part.
Until now. After this enormous JRPG's unfortunate 2012 debut in the final days of the Wii's life cycle and a low-res port to the 3DS,
what the fuck is this quality?
That didn't do it justice, at long last it can shine on a console in its prime.
Okay, no. I remember this part. I have this prepared. Look at how shit this quality is. You're probably thinking, wow, Xenoblade Chronicles looked really ugly on the Wii, didn't it? No, IGN just went out of their way to get the shittiest quality possible. Here, let's look at this footage from Chugga Conroy's Let's Play of this game back in 2014, and he's a man who is known for using the native hardware. Like, he doesn't use emulators, he doesn't do upscaling or stuff like that. Look at how much better this is. Look at the IGN quality. Look at the Chugga footage. This is night and day. This is even stretched out for some stupid reason. Like, this, it doesn't look amazing, but this clearly looks much better than what IGN is trying to say. Look at how ugly and bad this game looked on the Wii. It didn't look amazing on the Wii, but the art style of this game is why people remember it so fondly. The locations, all the places you can see, like, they do so much with such limited hardware, and it's truly impressive. When you played that game at the time, you were like, damn, something this good looking can be on the Wii? And the answer is yeah. Monolith are just that good in developing stuff, but sure, IGN, let's say that this garbage ass quality is what it looked like originally.
and shine on a console in its prime, and the result is an improvement as massive as the Titan Bionis itself. And that's before we even get into any of the definitive edition's numerous improvements.
Wait, also there's something else I remember.
On a console and a low-res port to the 3DS.
Okay, low-res port on the 3DS. Let me also call this bullshit out. What is this I'm showing you right now? Let me just scroll down a little bit. Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, 7 minutes of gorgeous gameplay. Now let me just play this bit again for you.
Cycle and a low-res port to the 3DS.
Way to contradict yourself, IGN, you fucking dumbasses. Oh boy, we're not even a minute in. I'm really feeling it. Travis? Who the fuck are you? Travis? You're a fucking idiot.
The most noteworthy upgrade is apparent the second you boot Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition up.
True.
It's been given an incredible facelift.
This does look incredible. I like how the Wii one looked, but damn, you can't tell me this doesn't look gorgeous.
Finally, Shulk looks like the dorky firebrand we know from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate instead of a blurry piece of concept art.
My guy, Shulk has one of the worst models in Ultimate. This has been a meme among people who play Ultimate. Just look at, I'm gonna try and find an image and post, but like, look at how bad. Also, Pokemon Trainer, like, the female Pokemon Trainer kind of shares this fate, but look at how bad they look. They look horrible in Ultimate. I don't know why they look this bad, but it is a travesty what was done to these characters. So, yeah, I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about again.
Dark. Environments, which were already unforgettable in low resolution, now take on a whole new life in HD.
Yes.
Some textures haven't been given the same love and are still low res, but it's such a large upgrade over previous versions overall that it's hard to complain about any edges left rough.
Okay, so any graphical complaints are nitpicking at this point. Fair. Also, can we talk about how Machina Forest? Oh, we don't have draw distance issues anymore. It's gonna look so good.
Even nearly a decade later, the premise of Xenoblade Chronicles and the weirdness of the world it takes place in maintains its charm. After your hometown is attacked by the robotic people-eating Mechon, you and your friends set out on a quest for revenge on an unforgettable odyssey that has you journeying across the Titan corpses that serve as the setting.
Look at how good this looks. Look at how fucking good this gigantic-ass robot that's gonna murder your hometown looks. If my hometown gets murdered by a robot, make sure he looks as nice as this.
It serve as the setting. The world is remarkably weird and unique, and areas are diverse and include dense jungles, creepy swamps, and metal labyrinths, just to name a few.
Let's also talk about how we have a tundra setting that's not boring. We have an ocean place that isn't hell to explore. And he doesn't even mention guard planes here, I don't think.
And include dense and metal labyrinths, just to name a few. You'll even travel inside a creature's body and fight the monsters inside it, like a twisted episode of the Magic School Bus. Like a lot of JRPGs, the story goes to some really, really weird places that are as confusing as they are preposterous.
This is the part of the review. I saw this part and knew I had to roast the ever-loving Shad. This is the part that like tipped me over the edge. I'm just gonna let him play it. I'm just gonna play it out.
But it owns its own absurdity so well that it works even when people keep re-explaining the same concept in a dozen different cutscenes.
So I can use this power to change the future.
We'll change what happens.
We'll change the future together.
We can change our destinies. Change the future.
Huh, I wonder if they can change the future.
Okay. Listen here, you fucking dumbass. First off, half of these cutscenes play out in the same place. Like this cutscene, this part, fucking this part, and this part are all the same cutscene. And this cutscene is literally one of the most important cutscenes in the entire game. And it happens very early on. Why is it so important? I mean, if you haven't watched, if you haven't played this game yet, you probably shouldn't listen to this part, but watch at your own risk. But basically, the whole thing in, like, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because I'm assuming you've at least played that one, in how, you know how Rex's development doesn't really happen until literally the end of the game? Yeah, no, Shulk has his development, like, that problem that Rex has is getting addressed right here in this cutscene, which is, like, not even at the 20% mark. This cutscene is literally going over the fact that, remember, Shulk was researching the Monado, but he never actually got to use it until the events at Colony 9 when your hometown gets attacked by the Mechon. That's the first time Shulk uses the Monado. And so, he's like, whoa, what is this? I can have visions? That's really weird. And in all these cutscenes that this guy is showing, Shulk is like kind of starting to understand, oh yeah, I can use the Monado right now to make sure I understand to change the future. Like this cutscene specifically, this cutscene shows that, oh, the future I see isn't actually set. This is the future that will happen if I don't do anything. And literally in this cutscene, you just saved Ryan from biting the dust because Shulk learned to use a new power from the Monado. So Shulk is like, okay, I have these new powers, and then he does it again once this cutscene kicks in. So he's starting to learn, okay, I can change the future. Like, I have the power in the Monado to make things different, and he's learning that. And it's not something he understood before. And this is just a natural process a human would have because changing the future and having visions is really fucking weird and not normal in this game. But sure, let's just nitpick the fact that the character is progressing and developing. Because we understand his powers from Smash Bros. Better than this guy who just got the sword like a day ago. That took a lot out of me, but like that complaint literally just misses the whole point of these cutscenes. And yeah, I will say the Ether Mines are one of my least favorite areas in the game. I hate the the music just drones on. I hope the like reworked soundtrack fixes that, but holy shit. That complaint literally just misses the entire point of these cutscenes. From this point on, I haven't seen anything else, so this is gonna be... Oh boy, what else are you gonna hit me with, dumbass Travis?
The definitive edition of Xenoblade Chronicles adds an all-new story chapter called Future Connected, which takes place a year after the events in the main story.
Has this guy played the original game? Because you shouldn't be talking about this unless you played the original, because if you don't know... Okay, also, if you haven't played the definitive or Xenoblade period, you don't play Future Connected, because the first thing they show in Future Connected is the final boss getting killed. So, yeah.
It's great to have more time with Shulk and friends, but the standalone adventure, which can be played entirely separately from the campaign...
No, the fuck it can't! What?!
Great to have more time with Shulk and friends, but the standalone adventure, which can be played entirely separately from the campaign...
This is not a standalone adventure! The first cutscene is you beating the final boss! What?! What? I'm just in shock at the incompetence I'm hearing right now. I mean, yeah, nothing carries over from the base game, but this is not standalone. The two things are heavily interconnected. You do not play Future Connected unless you've beaten the original campaign or know the events well enough. What the fuck?
Doesn't really add a whole lot. You spend a lot of time with Melia, one of the weaker characters from the main...
I'm sorry, what did I just hear?
Doesn't really add a whole lot. You spend a lot of time with Melia, one of the weaker characters from the main campaign, and...
Excuse me. Fixed? Uh-huh? I need to hear this again.
A whole lot. You spend a lot of time with Melia, one of the weaker characters from the main campaign.
Oh, sweet Bionis, give me strength. You cannot be serious. Did this guy play the original? I can't fucking tell anymore. Like, did he beat one of the weaker characters? Bitch! What? Charlotte's right there! I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. But Melia, one of the weaker characters in Xenoblade Chronicles. Okay, I recently made a video talking about my favorite party members in Xenoblade Chronicles. Melia's at the top of the list. Spoilers, which not that big a spoiler if you've looked at my Twitter profile, where just look at my pin tweet, damn it. You can tell I love this girl, and there's a reason she's one of the fan favorite characters, even in Japan. Like, there's a whole thing in Japan where basically they sometimes write a character where they don't change that much despite going through traumatic events. That's what they do with Melia. She has so much shit happen to her, but she doesn't really change through it all, which maybe is what they're referring to, but it's good because it shows that, hey, Melia's been through a lot of shit, but she's still gonna carry out what she has to do. She's gonna get the job done no matter what. How the fuck? Listen, oh my gosh, oh gosh, how do you have that bad a take? There's like no bad character in the party, and usually it's pretty understood that Charla is the weakest party member, not because she's bad, but because her like entire plot thread is so heavily foreshadowed, and you just don't care because you know what the payoff's gonna be. But wow, no wonder people hate this review. Hot damn! I'm not even halfway!
Melia, one of the weaker characters from the main campaign, and two new, highly irritating Napon named Kino.
You can't even say the race's name!
Characters from the main campaign, and two new, highly irritating Napon named Kino and Nene.
First off, Napon! Second, they're literally supposed to be Charla and Rhine! So he's literally saying that Rhine and Charla are highly irritating characters because that's the dynamic that these two bring! Although Kino's like a bit shy towards strangers, which is pretty cute, but like, that's the dynamic effectively! What the fuck?!
Hating Napon named Kino and Nene.
Smelly, what's wrong? Is tummy hurty?
The core Xenoblade experience remains intact here, but it's sadly not a major selling point for this remaster. Still, it just feels great to be back with Xenoblade Chronicles' memorable cast of characters, whether it's the lovable meathead Rain or—
He can't even say Rhine's name right! You don't have an excuse here! They fucking voice it! Also, I love Rhine! By the way, this character that's supposed to be Rhine is really fucking annoying! Ugh, I'm gonna need to make myself a drink after this.
Characters, whether it's the lovable meathead Rain or the stoic and inscrutable Duncan, each one—
Duncan?! What?!
Duncan, each one shines. Whether it's the lovable meathead Rain or the stoic and inscrutable Duncan.
You got me. You fucking got me, IGN. I've been baited. I have been fucking baited by this review. There's no way in hell they didn't deliberately fuck this up just to get more clicks on their video. I refuse to believe they didn't fuck this up on purpose now. Duncan. No, this is trolling. This is a man putting his professional career on the line to make the highest quality bait I've ever seen. Well, highest quality in that it fucking got me. This is some bait right here, and I took it hook, line, sinker. But wow, IGN, does that reflect poorly on your part.
Each one shines even when the wonky writing or grindy stretches of gameplay—
Wonky writing or grindy stretches of gameplay. My guy, you don't grind in Xenoblade. You can just side quest, which you want to do because the rewards are really good.
otherwise bog down the adventure. The story is squarely focused on Shulk's quest for revenge and the war against the Mechon, but it also takes the time to reintroduce and develop its supporting characters.
Which is
there
good.
are entire chapters dedicated to fleshing out and resolving their major arcs.
Are there actually chapters in this game? There weren't chapters in the original like there were in 2. So if they actually have little benchmarks like that, I'd really appreciate it. Although, they don't do that— well, they do that for every character because, yeah, they're developing their character and it's good. But, I'm not even gonna waste my time anymore.
Of course, characters can still get on your nerves by literally never shutting the hell up before, during, and after combat. You'll hear the same tired lines way too often.
Okay, that's a fair okay, that's a half-fair complaint. It's fair that, yeah, battle is very noisy. They're like, this was a thing even in the original. They, like, had a clip of, like, all the Japanese voices going on during combat, and they're like, yeah, this is pretty noisy, isn't it? It's really hectic and chaotic, but that was really cool because that's what you expect a battle to be. Do you expect battle to be calm and just formulaic? No, it's crazy, it's hectic, it's full of energy, and that's exactly what Xenoblade does with all these quotes. Also, they don't really get that repetitive. Like, there's a lot of quotes in Xenoblade, and a lot of fans go out of their way to try to hear all the unique dialogue because there's just so much of it, and that it's like it's hard to hear every single clip in the game because it's just that expansive.
Thankfully, you can turn combat dialogue off, but it feels...
Wait, you can? Why would you?
Feels like maybe there should be a middle ground between no combat dialogue at all and having all the characters scream at you uninterrupted for the 100 plus hours it takes to complete the campaign.
Okay, so there's a big problem here already. He says the campaign takes 100 plus hours. That's if you side quest and don't deal with tedious grinding and just do side quests, which give you experience on top of rewards and like money and items, which are really good, and a bunch of other really, really good rewards I'm not going to spoil here. Like, my original run of the game, when I played it when this game came out, was 80 hours, and I did some side questing. I didn't do everything, but I kept up with some things, and I had, on average, like 3-star affinity across the board with most of the places. If you don't know what that means, you'll learn it in the game, but if this game takes 100 plus hours, why are you complaining about grinding if you know that's not true?
Gameplay remains largely the same, though it's been improved in some minor ways.
True.
Characters now have health bars, which is awesome, and also...
Oh yeah, they didn't have health bars. I mean, you had... Okay, here, let me pull up the Chugga footage. You have big numbers. Like, you have these, which... I don't know, I thought it was fine for me. I kind of prefer it because it's bigger. The UI is just very small, but I think the health bar is probably going to do a good enough job, so that's just a personal thing. Probably nostalgia talking.
So kind of crazy that this wasn't a thing already. The map UI has a detailed waypoint guiding you towards your objectives instead of a vague arrow, and quest items are marked with a helpful exclamation point so you know which ones you should pick up instead of...
I'm not gonna lie, did anyone else really like the crazy taxi arrow in the sky? I kinda liked it. That's just me again, I guess.
So you know which ones you should pick up instead of having to run toward every glowing blue orb. Menus have also been improved a lot.
Wait a minute, hold on. I'm gonna black that part out. I think this man just put spoilers.
Having to run toward every glowing blue orb.
Oh my fucking did! He puts his spoil 7 in the trailer! Bro! This man is spoiling 7 in the trailer! What the fuck? Okay, for those who don't know, in Xenoblade Chronicles, there's a party member you get, and it's the 7th party member. They are referred to pretty much universally in the community as 7, so as to not spoil people who haven't played the game, but while talking about their abilities and combat potential and that type of stuff. I'm not showing it on here because I have respect for the viewer, but they straight up spoil this character's identity here. Wow.
Menus have also been improved a lot. What was once an incomprehensible series of blurry rectangular menus have now been overhauled into a much more modern and functional UI.
I mean, it looks nice. I didn't think it looked bad before. There were some problems with the UI, though, I will say that.
Which is a godsend considering how much time you'll spend in them, customizing your character's abilities, upgrading equipment, and changing your outfits.
I literally can't show any of that footage because the man was just on a fucking massive spoiler. Like, even when he's talking about the UI, which, okay, this means the man has played up to this point, and he's showing these spoilers, which means a lot of his, like, Melia being the worst character, considering the point of the game he's showing. No! No! What the fuck?
While those improvements are great, this remaster doesn't go far enough elsewhere, opting to maintain a lot of outdated mechanics.
Like
the Affinity
what?
Coin and Skill Tree system, for example, remains an obtuse and bizarre way to buff characters based on social links, soaking up far more attention than it seems worth. I'm all for staying true to the original when it makes sense to do so, but the Wii-era RPG design could benefit from more of a refresh.
Also, the Wii-era RPG design is literally MMORPG. The skill trees aren't obtuse. Also, this man didn't do fucking side questing, as you can tell if you played the original through a certain thing, which I'm not gonna show on screen because it's a fucking spoiler! But, you don't say what your problems are, but say there's a problem! Voice them, you dumbass!
Good job, everyone.
Combat itself is still just as tactical and addictive as ever. It uses an action-based battle system where your character attacks automatically within range of an enemy, but movement and the more powerful special abilities called arts are controlled by you. Combat can grow a little dull at times due to the fact that the campaign requires a significant amount of grinding.
No,
it
it
fact that
doesn't!
it manages to remain at all entertaining with such a long runtime is impressive in its own right.
Also, we know what score you give this. Does this sound like an 8 out of 10 game to you? Grindy, weird story, complaining about the characters?
Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is the remaster this respected JRPG deserves, even when it feels like it doesn't go far enough in places. The new future-connected story chapter isn't particularly inspired, but the impressive graphical overhaul and welcome quality-of-life improvements make this the best version of Xenoblade Chronicles we've ever had.
Well, no shit, it's called Definitive Edition, you dumbass.
For more, watch our review.
Nope! Alright, I'm refreshing this to look at the comments. No, you don't get my ad money. Fuck you, IGN. The quality of this review is awful. I'm not even sure if this reviewer really played the game. I should have just watched the Game Explain one. That's true! In the corner, which you can't see up here, Game Explain has their review, which probably has something called, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, fucking effort put into it! This is, oh my gosh. Everyone has their opinions and don't care about the final score, but in the review, if you talk about the characters and you can't even, well, I think he meant to say here, but spell them correctly. Not only that, but the fact that the review feels so dry, doesn't even talk about, typo, the side quests that were upgraded by a lot, which he's talking about the features that literally make side quests easier to do, because a lot of it involved you just running into random blue item orbs in the original, and that was very much a pain in the ass. But yeah, it's been enhanced, and yeah, this guy is talking about how they don't even mention that in the review. And then, yeah, complaining about the shitty names. Is this review a joke? It looks like a review. This review is shit. Everyone calm down. You know that IGN don't play games. Melia, the weakest character. Excuse you. Thumbs up, good sir. Like, yeah. Yeah, like, what the fuck can you... The best Xenoblade has ever been. Gives it a lower score than the original. I was gonna look at this. I have the original IGN review of the Wii era on here. Let's just skip to the score. I don't want to hear them talk. Look at this! 9 out of 10! Non-linear and fluid, beautifully designed, epic story, graphically limited, which is true, 9 out of 10, outstanding. That sounds more like a real review. I'm not going to waste my time watching this one. Maybe I'll watch it if you guys really like this, but goodness gracious, I am so glad I got that all out of my system. I'm going to edit this now so it doesn't have fucking spoilers in the video. And yeah, people, if you're a Xenoblade fan and you're upset at how shitty this was, let me know how angry you are at IGN in the comments of 4, and tell me how the Game Explain review was. I'm probably going to be listening to it while I edit this together, because I want to hear something good about this game coming from someone who actually cares about their job. Like, this is your job. Your job is to review video games, and you've shown you cannot do that competently. And this is my big problem with IGN. You have people that can't do their fucking jobs right. It's a bait. It's totally bait, because you can't make those mistakes deliberately. But part of me feels like this is like you spoil massive elements of the game by spoiling a character's identity who you're not supposed to know about. If you want to see someone like Xenoblade, I have a video I'm going to try and plug here because it's not doing that well in numbers, but I've talked about... I don't even know what I'm switching to, but I have a video on my channel. It's going to show up in the end cards. I talk about the party members in Xenoblade. I do spoil it, and I make clear in my video that I'm spoiling the game. But, yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. I need to give my throat a rest. I've just been shouting for like the last 20 minutes, and it's starting to get to me. Thank you all so much for watching. Fuck off, IGN.